All right, what is up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Brutally Simple Cooking. And today we got a sandwich alternative that we call the UNWICH. Now, you know how you love the taste of a sandwich, and we get questions all the time about how do we eat sandwiches? How do we make sandwiches? Because the problem is most of us aren't eating bread anymore because it makes you sick. And the bread alternatives out there aren't that great. Well, now steps in the UNWICH. Because with the UNWICH, you can have your sandwich and eat it too, but without the bread and without all the mess. Now, remember what brutally simple cooking means. It means real food first. It means simple ingredients, and it means simple processes. And pro tip, make sure that you have mise en place, everything in its place before you start, so that you're not running to the store in the middle of this whole thing because you forgot something.
All right, so mise en place, making sure we have everything in place. We need some parchment paper to roll this UNWICH up. Now we're also gonna need a sharp knife, and pro tip, I recommend having a serrated knife in the kitchen at all times in addition to a chef knife and a paring knife. All right, then we've got what we're gonna make our UNWICH with. So we want a piece of lettuce, like a big leaf. You can use romaine lettuce, butter bib lettuce, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna use a couple of different lettuces today and just kind of stack them on top of each other. And we're also going to want to have some deli meat. So here we've got some oven roasted turkey, and then my favorite, which is fork in the road pastrami. This stuff is amazing. I'm also going to use some salami and some pepperoni. And then for accoutrements, you can use whatever you want. You may want to use some diced up tomatoes, some sliced onions. I'm simply going to use some cheese, and today I've got some Swiss cheese. I'm going to use a little bit of some pickles. And then for condiments, today I'll be using some Chosen Foods approved mayo, avocado mayo, and some Primal Kitchen Dijon mustard. All right, so let us begin. We're gonna take out a piece of parchment paper that's big enough to put our lettuce leaf on. All right, so then I'm gonna show you the layering that I like that works well. First of all, we want to try to get all the different foods all the way across this piece of leaf so that we have a bite of everything every time we bite into this UNWICH. So I'm going to start with my cheese. I'm just going to put a couple of pieces in here. And then I'm going to layer in my loose stuff. So I'm going to give myself a couple pickles. And then I'm going to put on my smaller meats. So I can give myself some pepperoni and then some salami and then a little bit of turkey. The pastrami. Now feel free to load up as much meat as you want on this sucker, because pro tip, making animal foods and proteins the priority at a meal is going to make you feel better, it's going to satiate you, it's going to auto-regulate your appetite. All right, we'll give them a squirt of some Primal Kitchen mustard, and then we'll give a little bit of mayo. Now the reason I like to put this meat on top is because it's easier to spread these condiments versus those loose things. All right, now for the UNWICH. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to roll this thing up in here, nice and tight, and then cut it in half. So as we roll this, we're trying to keep it all together, just like this right here. Then we're gonna pull this to the edge. We're gonna tuck it, nice and tight, just like that. All right, then we're going to want to take our sharp knife and cut it right down the middle, all the way to the board. And there you have the UNWICH. Now, what's great about having this loose end is we can fold this under so that the toppings don't pour out. And then we can take this with us and put it in our container. All right, now we're going to try an UNWICH without any lettuce. Same thing, we're going to bring this thing to the edge, and let's see if we can get a roll for this going. I think we did it. Boom. Just going to tuck this on underneath. Now we got the UNWICH without lettuce. All right, and then the way that you eat this is you simply tear back the paper and start chomping away with the UNWICH intact.
So there you have it, folks. That is the UNWICH. Now you know how to respond if someone ever asks you, like, how do you eat this way? What do you do for sandwiches? What you respond with is, pro tip, we don't do sandwiches. We do UNWICHes.